Rome did not fall in a single day. It did not collapse because of chaos or invasion or weakness. It collapsed because of one man who refused to accept limits. Julius Caesar was not born a king. Rome despised kings. For centuries, Romans believed power should be shared, balanced by law, controlled by tradition. But Caesar shattered that balance. The Senate feared him. The people adored him, and his soldiers would follow him anywhere. When the Roman Senate ordered Caesar to surrender his army, they believed the Republic would protect itself. Instead, they forced Caesar to make a decision. That would destroy Roman democracy forever. At a small river called the Rubicon, Caesar stopped. He knew crossing it meant civil war. He knew there would be no forgiveness. Then he stepped forward. And in that moment, Rome declared war on itself. This is the story of Julius Caesar, the man who ended the Roman Republic and became immortal. The man before power. Julius Caesar was born into one of Rome's oldest noble families, but age did not equal power. His family name carried prestige, not influence. In a city ruled by elite bloodlines and ancient alliances, Caesar stood on the margins. He had ambition, but no authority. He had dreams of greatness, but no army to enforce them. What Caesar did have were massive debts. He borrowed enormous sums of money to buy public favor. He funded games, festivals, and spectacles. That made him beloved by the people. The Roman Senate saw him as reckless, dangerous, and corrupt. But the common citizens saw something else. They saw a man who spoke their language. Caesar did not speak like a senator. He spoke like someone who understood hunger, inequality, and anger. He promised reform in a republic rotting from corruption. Caesar understood something the aristocracy refused to accept. Rome no longer belonged to tradition, it belonged to loyalty. To survive politically, Caesar aligned himself with two of the most powerful men in Rome. Pompey the Great, Rome's most celebrated general, and Marcus Licinius Crassus, the richest man alive. Together, they formed an unofficial alliance, known as the First Triumvirate. They controlled elections, they controlled laws, they controlled armies. The Republic still existed in name, but real power had already shifted. Gaul, the forging of a legend. The Senate believed they had found a solution. They sent Caesar far from Rome, granting him command over the province of Gaul. They expected distance to weaken him. They were wrong. Gaul became the battlefield. That transformed Caesar into a legend. For nearly 10 brutal years, Caesar waged relentless war. He faced tribes that outnumbered him, terrain that devoured armies, winters that killed without mercy. Caesar endured all of it. He crossed frozen rivers under enemy fire. He survived ambushes that should have annihilated him. He crushed rebellions with ruthless efficiency. Entire tribes vanished from history. Hundreds of thousands were killed. Millions were enslaved. But Caesar did not command from safety. He marched with his soldiers, shared their hunger, endured their exhaustion. He rewarded loyalty personally. To his men, Caesar was not just a general, he was Rome itself. Victory followed victory. Gold flooded his camps. Glory spread his name across the Republic. And something far more dangerous was created. An army loyal not to Rome, but to Caesar alone. Back in the capital, fear spread among the senators. Caesar was no longer a politician, he was a symbol, and symbols terrified governments. Fear in Rome. As Caesar's fame grew, the Senate's fear turned into desperation. Pompey, once Caesar's ally, turned against him. The triumvirate collapsed. The Senate issued a final command. Caesar must disband his army and return to Rome as a private citizen. To obey meant humiliation, trial, and exile. To refuse meant civil war. No Roman general was allowed to cross the Rubicon River with an army. It was the sacred line that protected the Republic from tyranny. Caesar stood at its edge in silence. He knew the decision would define history. After a long pause, he spoke the words that sealed Rome's fate. The die is cast. Caesar crossed the Rubicon, and the Republic began to bleed. Civil war. Chaos erupted across Rome. Pompey fled the city. The Senate scattered across the empire. Caesar marched into Rome unopposed. For the first time in centuries, a Roman army occupied Rome itself. Civil war spread across Europe, Africa, and the Mediterranean. The final confrontation came at Pharsalus. Pompey commanded a larger force, more cavalry, more experience. But Caesar had something Pompey did not: absolute loyalty. Caesar's strategy shattered Pompey's army. Pompey fled to Egypt seeking refuge. Instead, he was betrayed and murdered. When Caesar was presented with Pompey's severed head, he wept, not out of mercy, but because Rome had lost its last illusion of balance. There was no rival left. Caesar returned to Rome. As its undisputed master, he was named dictator, then dictator for life. Dictator of Rome. At first, Caesar ruled carefully. He passed reforms, forgave debts, expanded citizenship. The people celebrated him, but power isolated him. Statues were raised in his honor. His image appeared on coins. He sat above senators. Whispers filled the marble halls of Rome. King. The word Romans feared more than death. Caesar was warned repeatedly, but he believed himself untouchable. He had survived wars of betrayals and fate itself. How could a group of senators stop him? Caesar entered the Senate chamber. He was unarmed, surrounded by men he trusted. The first blade struck, then another, and another. Daggers flashed. Blood soaked the Senate floor. When Caesar saw Brutus among the attackers, a man he loved like a son, he stopped resisting. 23 wounds ended his life. The conspirators believed they had saved the Republic. They were wrong. Aftermath and legacy. Caesar's death did not restore democracy. It destroyed it forever. Rome descended into chaos once more. Civil war followed. And from the ashes rose Augustus, Caesar's adopted heir. Rome gained its first emperor. The Republic never returned. Julius Caesar did not end Rome by ruling it. He ended it by proving that one man could stand above all law. Rome feared kings, but it created something far worse: a man too powerful to obey. Julius Caesar did not destroy the Republic in a day. He destroyed it the moment Rome chose greatness over freedom.